Hello there, peoples of the world, my friends. How's it going today? Today I'm going to have a little bit of a off-topic conversation. I guess all my conversations are a little off-topic because I don't really have specific topics. But lately I've been focusing a little bit on the, let's just say, the idea that people aren't quite as free as they would like to think that they are, which is something that we all know. Which leads me to this video, which hopefully I'm going to lay out a little bit of the reason of why I don't speak out more about certain things, and how I try to keep myself sane. So really the subject matter of this video is to what degree should we put ourselves out there, and to what degree should we make sure that we enjoy our lives and aren't obsessing about the damaged world that we live in. I have many different views on the world around me. I don't see it as a negative place, although I know that the media and elsewhere and discussions people have often lean towards the negative things that are going on, therefore we're more likely to view it as a dangerous, scary place. I went through quite a, I guess what some people might call a spiritual transformation, but it's not spirit related in the sense of being religious or anything mystical, as much as just realizing that this entire system seems to be, and I'm not talking about the political system or even human nature, but this entire universal system seems to be orchestrated on some level where everything just works together. There are so many different conditions that you can look at to say if one thing was different, none of this would exist. The fact that we exist in itself is an amazing thing to imagine, and we don't really have a choice, but when you put it into comparison with the bigger picture, it makes the smaller things seem very trivial, and it makes human nature, humankind, our short time here, the corruption, greed, murder, all these different things, pollution, that this will all go by the wayside one day and it will all be over. That once we're long gone, we're not going to destroy the earth. The earth will rebound. It's rebounded many times. There have been many mass extinctions, and another one will come. When you look at things in that big of a context, you start to realize that some of the things that we're spending our time fighting against in this life are things that we may never live to, not only may we never live to see the results of, but maybe no human at all may live to see the results of. But we're doing our best. We're trying to preserve wildlife where we can, save endangered species, stop global warming. We have many different things that we fight for. So when do we draw the line and say, I just want to live? Because there's another side of it. The people who may complain a little bit, but don't take any action whatsoever. They may speak out and say, global warming is real, we need to stop using gasoline. Well, that's not going to work. That's not an answer to the problem. We need to show people how we can do this. Another person may say, global warming is a hoax. It doesn't matter. Just keep burning it. Common sense has to prevail somewhere, and people decide what they want to stand for. And a lot of folks are telling others what they should be standing for and how much they should fight for it. But you can only expend so much energy, especially if you have other things in life to deal with, such as a full-time job, family, children. We also want to live our lives. So people who are extremely activist type, they tend to scathe others and say, you guys, you people, sheeple, they need to do more, they need to put in more effort. Whereas many of those people may be putting in effort in their corners, but it's just not noticed because, well, they're individuals. The only person who's going to notice the effort we're putting forward is ourselves. We can't expect recognition for it, and we can't do it for recognition. Now, there becomes almost an addiction to activism for some people because they get so many pats on the back and they feel like they're really stopping something, and sometimes they are, but I think it's important that we educate ourselves on not just what we're fighting for, but how it's affecting us. If it's something that's really not affecting anyone, or if it's something that we can't prove, it makes it more difficult to assess it and create a movement to stop something that is invisible, let's say. Whereas some of the very visible things we can see, tangible things, such as the reason why I'm so active on this Kratom ban. It's not because it's something new, it's the exact opposite. It's because it's something old that's being repeated. And it's something that has stories that have come before this of, in other words, these same issues have come up with other substances, and we can look back and see the actual evidence. It's like when they quote a court case. You know, if it's unprecedented, it's never happened before, then it's hard to assess and decide exactly what to do with the issue. But if it's something that is precedented, if it's been brought up in a court case, then it's something that we can stand up for. That's when it's time to fight. So what I'm saying is that people, all of us, have the capacity now to not get together into large groups and protest in the streets, or even get into large internet groups and try to, change massive things that we may not be able to change, but rather to poke and prod and pick at the little corners of reality that we actually inhabit, to where I can take action in my town, you can take action in your town. Do what you can, but only you are going to be the one who's going to look at that list in your mind and say, have I put forth enough effort to try to change the things that bother me? And on the same side, have I ignored my daily life because of fighting so much corruption? And that's where I get into those who lean towards all the things that are wrong in the world, what you might call the truthers sometimes. It's almost like they can't step back and take a breath of fresh air and really see beauty where it lays. The human mind is very, I was going to say fragile, but I wouldn't use that as a descriptive word. It's plastic, neuroplasticity. Our minds can lean towards whatever direction we want them to take. So if we tend to see nothing but the negatives, we're going to get into that mindset, and it's very difficult to get out. But we have to keep ourselves with one foot in each tub, I guess, if you will, to really be aware of what's going on, but also be aware that we have a very short time on this earth. And if movements and protests are what drive you, and that makes you happy in life, then do it. But if they don't, and you're forcing yourself to do it, it's a different story altogether. We all have our own little areas of expertise, and hopefully we all find a way to bring those together in a non-structured format to allow the world to know exactly how humans really feel. Not how you think people feel, not how I think people feel, but how people really feel. And that one's a very wide field. Talk to y'all later.